I'll show you the tool that I use to do this automated, and we'll just flick over there now. It's an application called Market Samurai, and this allows me to do all of that I just showed you then and a lot more in a quicker time. So let's just say I'm going to type in the term greeting cards as my main keyword. You'll also have an option to choose countries, and I'll follow suit and choose the United States, which I did before in the keyword tool up here. Okay. And then simply go create. Now what I want to show you in this particular tool is the keyword research module, and what this essentially does is allows you to go out and search for keywords. It'll automatically go and bring you back a list of keywords based on greeting cards, okay? And these are search phrases that people are searching on in Google, and you can choose the phrase length of the keywords. So I normally stick around at least 2 to 3, because any single word key phrases are just far too competitive and not targeted enough. So then simply press the generate keyword tool, and it goes out and brings some keywords back all automatically. Okay, now you can see that it's brought back quite a large number of results. We're talking 795 keywords, all related to the original key phrase with the seed keyword called greeting cards. So these are all the different keywords here that this tool has brought back. But you can also bring keywords in that you've searched for elsewhere as well. So I'll show you how to do that. You can simply clear these, okay, and we'll go back to our list, and we quite simply copy these. I'll copy them and then go into here and paste them in there and add the keywords into here. Now with this tool, what it allows me to do is analyze the keyword results, and what you can do is choose the match type, which is broad, phrase, or exact. Phrase is what we were using in the previous example to find the accurate traffic, but I don't need to do that in this tool because it'll do it for me. You can choose the period, daily, weekly, or monthly, and that's the amount of searches. So I'll normally go for a daily filter. That's just my preference, and then you can select the results. I'm not going to go into how to use this tool completely, but I just wanted to give you an overall look at how quick this can actually generate some results for you. So essentially what I'm looking for is the total searches, the estimated traffic from the #1 position, and there's a term called phrase to broadband match, which I won't go into here, and trends, and I'll turn that off too. So all we do is go and analyze this. Okay, now these are the results just come back, and as you can see, these very broad, long tail, they refer to them as keywords, aren't getting a lot of searches at all. So what I want to do is sort this by the highest search to the lowest amount of searches. And as you can see, the term greeting cards is the most largely searched term, and it has the most competition as well. So you're talking over 89 million, and that's the figure. That figure in this column equates to the figure we were getting up here from the Google search engine. So if I go in here, for example, and type in, and it does vary a little bit because there's so many different servers around, but as you can see there, 89,900,000. If I go back to the tool, it's 89,100,000. So there's a slight variation depending on what servers it's getting the information from, but it's pretty much accurate. And this tool brings it all back for us. So the next piece of information I want to find is I want to sort these keywords out by competition, because, and I'll show you what I mean. You can go into this competition module here and you can set a maximum, so a number larger than or equal to this. So for example, I want the maximum competition to be no more than, say, 30,000. Okay, and what that does, it reduces the amount that we see. So as you can see, pictures of greeting cards gets quite a lot of searches on a daily basis, and this figure here equates to the #1 position. So it's saying that based on the #1 position for this term, it estimates that if you were in #1 position, you would get an estimated 204 clicks or visitors per day from that particular keyword. So if you had the excuse me, if you had the #1 position here for that key phrase, this tool is saying you'd get an estimated 207, I think it was, 204 visitors from that #1 position, from a maximum estimate of 487 searches. This particular figure here is the competition, so it's very, very low competition, and this trends data just shows us the time of the year when this search phrase gets searched the most, and you'll find that it's very seasonal. You'll find that around coming into Christmas time, November, December, is when a lot of these phrases get the most searches, which makes sense. So that's based on that particular competition. Now if I was to increase that competition to, say, 50,000, you would see that the number of options would increase. So I'll just sort that by maximum again. So this particular phrase doesn't get very many searches, so I wouldn't be likely to use that particular key phrase as a key phrase to target when building my website. So again, I can go and filter these as well, so I can select a minimum SEOT number or a minimum search number. So if I said I want a search phrase that has at least 100 searches a day with no more than 50,000 competing sites, what does it give me? Well, it gives me this. Okay, so it gives me 3. It'll always show your seed keyword too, so you see it highlights that. It'll always show your seed keyword, but these are the keywords that we're left with. So greeting cards from photos, cheap greeting cards, and pictures of greeting cards. These all meet that criteria with low competition. Okay, and again, we can increase this. And see how we're getting more again. And personally, I think 100,000 isn't that difficult to initially start with as a competition level. So what we're left with here is these 4 phrases that are generating traffic and that aren't all that competitive. And I guess the question you may be asking is why? Why do you need to know all this information? Well, the reason you need to know this is because I see it time and time again, as so many people go off blindly and build these websites, and they've got their hearts set on making earning an income online. But the problem is they set them up and they target these keywords they think will bring them traffic, and they either end up in trouble in two ways. One, the keywords that they're targeting are too general and too highly competitive, like greeting cards here. Okay, they've got, you know, lots of traffic, but look at the competition you're up against there. Okay, and secondly, they'll find key phrases that get little traffic with massive competition as well. So that can happen where you're going to getting, you know, 2 or 3 searches a day, but for some reason it has a lot of competition. And then the other problem they find is that it may be getting little traffic with little competition. So they go and build this site, beautiful content, and they wonder why no one is coming to the site to visit it. And that's why, because it's not getting any traffic. So before you go into building any site focused around your passion, which is greeting cards, it's a good idea to have an understanding of what traffic your actual key phrases are getting before you start building a site, because you could be left very disappointed. So I'll leave that video here, but look, if you want to get a free copy, a free trial of this, you can, and I've put a link below this video that will send you to the website, and you can download a free trial. And they've got all sorts of videos on how to use this and what all this data means. I'm not going to go into that here, but I highly recommend that you, if you're serious about doing any sort of online business, that you'll need to actually invest in some tools to do that business. And this is one of the vital tools that I use on a daily basis, and I highly recommend that you consider doing it. Otherwise, you can do the manual way like this, and you can still work out those figures doing it manually like this. But you know, time is very valuable to me anyway, and I'm sure it is for you. And this literally shoots out all this information, and then I can simply click a button here and export that out as a CSV file like we did up here. Okay, and it'll have all that information already there for you in an Excel spreadsheet. So I'll leave it there. Visit the link below, go check this tool out. You can get a free option, but I highly recommend you do that. And then in the next video I'm going to show you what we do with this information and how we can build a structure for a website based on the information we get from this search.